Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is 9 a.m., and you are listening to and watching Good Morning, Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Before we get started, just let me just riff a little bit. Here's the thing. It's Friday, and I know a lot of you are very happy. You're like, man, I've been having a heck of a week. It's finally over. It's finally here. Something to consider as we get into the weekend. I would say, let's be mindful of everybody, and let's hope that everybody approaches the weekend with that same disposition. For those of us who have a easy career or things that we like to do and a happiness, we got to keep in mind that not everybody has that same happiness. So if we're able to, over the weekend, if we're able to give back, able to donate time, money, or even goods, find a good way to do that. Find an organization that's out there helping, doing some work. Pitch in with them and watch how bountiful your weekend can also be. But anyway, enough about me. Today we've got great guests today. I have Dr. Candace Thier and I have D'Chon Jones, who's back for his second time on our program.
A veteran now.
That's right. That's right. Leaders in Transformational Education, the LITE program. How y'all feeling?
Really good.
Okay.
Really good.
All right.
Very much. It's Friday.
Yes, it is. So we're going to be talking about a few things today. Chief in this discussion, though, is going to be the Dream Out Loud conference that you guys just had. It was the first annual, as we talked about before the mic came on. But introduce yourselves and then let us know about LITE. What is LITE?
Sure. I'm Dr. Candace Thier, and I'm the CEO for LITE.
Okay.
And LITE, so our name is Leaders in Transformational Education, and we found that to be really long.
Yes.
So when we took the acronym LITE, it was just very fitting for us because we feel like the work that we do helps to light a pathway for youth. Okay. So our work is with 16 to 24-year-olds, and these are youth who in the past were considered disconnected or disengaged youth. However, there's some studies that occurred in 2005 through 2008 with John Bridgeland, and he interviewed all across the country groups of kids that fit this demographic. And all of these kids have the same hopes and dreams that everybody else does. So we went from disconnected to opportunity. Right. So that's why we zero in on that terminology so we can work with our kids.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right. And D'Chon?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am not new to LITE. I've been here for a while now, almost coming up to a year. But I started this February, and I've been in youth development in the nonprofit space for a while now. And so was looking for new opportunities to give back and to, drive home my passion. And I met up with LITE, and once I got on the team, it's just been a really interesting and fun way to tackle things a little differently. So LITE doesn't conform to traditional ways of serving youth. Our goal is to really figure out what it is exactly that they want to do and how they want to maneuver their lives, and to create a plan based off of that, and not just say this is the next step and this is what you have to do. And so we definitely broaden our horizons on what they can do. If post-secondary is it, if trade school is it, if starting into a career is it, whatever it is, we want to help them realize what their dreams are, like Candace said.
Okay, you're coming up on a year being with LITE. And yourself, Candace?
Yeah, so we became incorporated in 2014.
Okay.
So we're at 10 year actually.
All
at
right.
This point.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's worth celebrating. Good stuff. Now you and I met at one of the recent Project Safe Aurora meetings. And as I was mentioning real quick, I just wanted to just lightly sprinkle the conversation with it. That was great to see so many organizations, even yours, represented there, and the work that's happening in the community as a whole. Tell us about the Dream Out Loud conference.
Sure. So kind of dovetailing off of what D'Chon spoke about. So we find that not only developing skills for kids is important, but you got to have a landing place for them. And so our goals are to, upskill kids and get them prepared to transition to adulthood, have those kinds of skills that are life skills, daily living, and employability, and then have a place for them to go. So what that means is making sure that we have an internship site, or making sure that we have a job placement, or making sure that we can help them get into some kind of a certificate program or some kind of a college program.
Right.
So with that, the Dream Out Loud we thought, we really have to get more information out to the community, widen this out so that kids learn more about who we are, what we do, and bring our partners into the activity.
Right.
So with that, we have 3 pillars that we focus in on for kids. So we have college and career, health and wellness, and arts and culture. So with that, we sought out various people that could provide some skills, hands-on, immersive learning in each of those areas. And then we took that and carried that over to offer programming on the back end. And from there, we're looking to have kids get placed. So Dream Out Loud for us is just kind of it's like a 4-hour, well, it's going to be 6 hours this year, but a 4-hour immersive experience for kids to get a feel for a number of different opportunities that we can make available for them.
Okay, all right. Now, there is some video as well, which we'll be showing, I think, later and independently. We'll be happy to share that video, those videos, rather, on our page and everything. But it was the very first one, correct? Okay. Looking forward to it being an annual event. Now, there is an impact report that the team has produced about the Dream Out Loud Conference. I just want to read a couple of great things about it. 10 organization facilitators, 4 organizations volunteering, and 4 vendors with job opportunities. That's just community engagement. Youth participation per Dream Shop as well. Arts and culture, college and career, and health and wellness. Great metrics. Me telling you the metrics will not be anywhere as cool as I actually posting this later on and you saying like, oh, wow. And then there's also the gender and age distribution and then the youth race and a breakdown as well. Largely popular with young African-American and Latino youth as well, but also white youth too. So it really shows a broad spectrum of engagement of those 16 to 24-year-olds. Very impressive. Now, also, I wanted to mention that we have here, so this is the flyer, what it looks like when you guys see us post it, life skills, career development, mentoring, and special programming. Can we talk about some of the special programming too?
Yeah, so that's really my wheelhouse. But, before we dip off from the Dream Out Loud, I'm rocking the T-shirt. So, the branding and the marketing there. So definitely check us out. But, yeah, so special programming is really my wheelhouse. I am our program supervisor at LITE. And our special programming is just a term that encompasses all of the things that we do outside of that skill building, that learning and development to really engage our youth because, we all know the saying, you work hard, you play hard. So we want to make sure we do some really good stuff with them that is also interesting and fun. Actually, last time I was here, part of our special programming that we did was our Music Matters program.
That's right.
And we talked a lot about working with Kendall Nesbitt, who's a Grammy-nominated artist that's worked with some really big names, and having him come out and teach our kids about the music industry, write songs, and actually take them to the studio to record. Other things that we do with them, we've done indoor skydiving, we've done Funway with go-karts, and we are getting ready to pump up a trip to Wonderverse. So if you are 16 to 24 and you are trying to have a good, experience over winter break and you don't got much planned, check us out. And we're trying to do some really cool stuff over that break. But yeah, it's been a whole bunch. I just came back a couple months ago, from an experience called Go Ape. If you've ever been, it's like a treetop adventure. I do not do trees. I do not do the woods. I don't do any of that. But it was actually super, super cool to go zip lining with the kids, do obstacles in the trees and things like that. And so being an opportunity youth myself growing up, and not kind of having that experience, I was a little skeptical at first, but it was something that really was transformational once we got there and you see the youth really kind of taking it on full and really just diving into it and figuring it out as they go and kind of helping and leading each other. So it's a really amazing experience. So like I say, think about it. If you work hard, you play hard. And that's what that special programming is.
And let me dovetail off
Please.
that as well, because one of the things that's important to us is that we have hands-on activities for kids because we believe that if all of your senses are stimulated by what you're doing, you're more likely to retain.
Oh, yeah.
So some of the activities that D'Chon just mentioned that we do, even though they're a blast, we have a good time. It helps us with our mentoring component by helping build rapport with the kids that we work with. It helps them feel like they belong to a group or something. And the activities that we do reinforce a lot of our skills. So the zipline adventures, leadership and communication and team building
Sure.
and overcoming challenges. And even the skydiving is one of those things that was a huge confidence builder that we saw. The minute those kids finished, immediately you could see it in their face that they were like, I got this. Bring it on. Whatever you got, bring it on. I got this.
Yep. The time is 9:12 a.m. You are listening to and watching Good Morning Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. And my guests today are Dr. Candace Thier and also D'Chon Jones of Leaders in Transformational Education, the LITE program, here to talk about the Dream Out Loud conference and many other great things. Now, in addition to the special programming, which we just touched on, and that confidence boosting as well, what I did want to mention too was the Skate for Concrete certification program. Tell us about this: job training, industry certification, and job placement.
I'll start and then I'll let D'Chon finish.
I mean, no doubt. You know what? Let's. I like that. I like that. See, it's a team effort. It's a team effort.
It's a team all the way. So we came in contact with the Illinois Ready Mix Concrete Association.
Yes.
And they work with Skate for Concrete. Skate for Concrete is out of California, and they build skate parks out there. And so that particular entity created the concrete certification program.
Okay.
So right now in Illinois, we're the only ones that offer this. And there is some hands-on components, so that was attractive to us because we like that. And the project itself, they presented at our Dream Out Loud conference last year.
Right.
And so the kids made concrete molds and started to get to learn about that. So now we're following that up with certification. And we are, so I'm going to put Mike on the spot. So we are planning on having kids, complete the program. Their last project is to create a mini skate park. We're going to have people from the concrete industry come out and take a look at those things and give them scoring.
Assess it?
Yep, they're going to assess it. And then we're looking to have, at a minimum of a $500 prize for kids, but what we're doing is putting pressure on the concrete industry to offer scholarship for CDLs.
Right.
Because we know that there's a shortage of cement truck drivers.
Absolutely.
And so they're looking to fill those positions. So we're looking to carry it all the way through as a part of who we are as an organization.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. And like Candace said earlier, one of our biggest things for us is not just, giving these skills to the youth, but making sure there's a place for them to actually land. And so the connection that we've made with Ready Mix Concrete and the Skate for Concrete organization has been very pivotal in us being able to kind of offer this job placement to youth, because a lot of the youth that we serve, really have no concept sometimes of what they want to do, or they haven't experienced a whole lot of things. And so offering this to them is something that's very interesting, and it's something that is a career that they can actually, sustain a full life in and take care of themselves and their families and things like that. And like Candace said, right now we're the only people that's doing it. There's a lot of construction programs and things out there as well, but this is something that's a little bit different and that offers a change in pace and career for the kids. And so we really want to make sure that as we also teach them the industry a little bit, that we're also embedding some professional development in there, teaching them about how to behave at work, how to do those things as well, because this is a stepping point to get to a career, but there's probably some in between as well that can kind of help you foster what you're working at, where you're working now, until you get that placement, or getting other opportunities until that placement comes up. So it's a full, well-rounded program that not only deals with understanding the concrete industry, but also understanding professionalism as a whole.
Right. It's going to be a lot. It's going to, what's required if you're going to take that next step up, that next ladder rung, no matter what you're thinking about doing, it's going to require something of you. And that's what I think a lot of young people would be really good to understand. There is, for a lot of the people who are working something right now, especially these young 16 to 24-year-olds, a lot of them know that, what I'm doing right now is not really what I want to do, but it's keeping my car insurance up. Mom's not mad about it, but I've got my eye on this thing. And I do think, to your point, like those soft skills and things like that in the interim, as you go from target or whatever it may be to what you're trying to do, that's very important. You can land the greatest job in the world, But if you got a boss like me and you're late, hey,
Well, that's
you know.
that's important. I mean,
It is
you
important.
gotta learn it.
Okay, now next question. The time is 9:16. Why? I know that 16 to 24-year-olds. What is the what's the importance of that age range, that particular age bracket? What's the significance of that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So that population really began to be identified as those kids that were dropping out of high school,
Okay.
and so that's 16 is about the point where those kids would, and then up until 24. Part of that has to do with development and brain development, because we know at 25 is really where you start to solidify that brain development. So this population tends to not always think things through. They have some impulsivity. They're still learning from the standpoint of socialization on how to conduct themselves and how
Right.
to hold themselves.
Right.
And we also know that this population is the largest population in terms of getting involved in some, criminal activity. Whether it's, and I'm not looking at, high severe things necessarily, but, stealing, breaking into things, those kinds of things. And certainly during COVID, a lot of our kids missed some critical developmental years, a couple of them in there. And the recovery for those kids has been really difficult. And so by missing that chunk, this is a real critical time frame for them.
Absolutely.
So that's why we are involved with this population. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because a lot of these kids are independent and they're on the move, and they think they know because, they're kind of grown, but not all the way grown.
Well, I mean, we can all right. We can all think about. I mean, if you at home, right? You're never as smart as you are when you're 19.
That's
I got this thing figured out,
Man.
17 years old, 18 years old. You think I got this? My dad doesn't know what he's talking about.
Right.
How would my mom know what a 16-year-old kid's going through? And as you said, those small things. We're not talking about James Cagney here. Just hanging out too late, hanging with the wrong crowd, miscellaneous delinquency, all that kind of stuff. My dad used to say, trouble is easy to get into, but it's hard to get out of.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have any prospects, if all you see for yourself or your environment is just, I grew up in Harvey. The greatest job I knew at that time was a security guard at like the rail yard.
You make a great point. I was asking our board, I was asking some other folks, how did you learn about careers? And all of us said, well, I don't know, because I
Right.
knew what my parents did, or maybe what a relative did, but the wealth of opportunity that's out there, there's not a really solid way that people are learning about that.
Right.
And so they might lean in a way, so somebody might say, well, here are the careers that you might fit into.
Right.
But it may not be the thing that works for them. So that's one of the other reasons why we try to listen to what our kids are saying to us and try to offer just a great variety as much as possible of all opportunities that might be there.
Okay, real quick, 9:20 a.m. is the time. Good morning. Tracy Duran is here. Good morning to you, Tracy Duran. Becky Hoff is here. She says, hello from the Northwest Territories. Wow.
Hello.
What you, man, what? That sounds fun. Can we come? Northwest
Yeah.
Territories.
Right.
She's probably in the forest eating dried cranberries and catching salmon in a bubbling brook.
So it sounds like.
Flo, good morning to you. Josue Pais, good morning to you. And Anderson, it's me, Simone. And Daniel Calderon, good morning to all you great people. Okay. The next thing I wanted to mention, I'm just going to do these real quick here. So some of the other incentives that are part of the LITE program while you're learning: mentoring, guidance, support, coaching, and motivation. Career development, we talked about the career exploration, the job certification, training, and placement. Then life skills, daily living skills, anger management. Didn't hear about that when I was 17 years old. Well, conflict resolution and employability. What's employability?
Yeah, so employability kind of touches on some of those soft skills that we kind of talked about that we integrate within that concrete certification. So all of those skills that you need to know: how to, write an email, how to respond properly when, you're at work and you're frustrated to things, how do you apply, fix up a resume, how do you, submit them, how do you follow up on a job interview when, interview skills and things like that as well. All of those things that you need to be a professional. As I tell the kids all the time, you know, all these things that we're expected to know as an adult, but we don't necessarily learn in school all the time.
Right.
That's where we're kind of filling in the gap.
Right. My mom taught me my mom taught me when I was going to get a job. She said, you need to look like you looking like you're going to church or court. A tie all the time. Look your very best. Go in there and ask for don't ask the person at the thing. Ask for the manager. Can I speak to the manager? Yeah. Hey, are you hiring? Let the manager see you. Let him see your face. You ask him for the application. Yeah, you hiring? Fill it out right there, and give it back. And then give him a follow up. But anyway, 9:22 is the time. Yes.
I just want to add to that too. So some of the activities that we have our kids involved in, what we will do with that. We also have opportunities where kids volunteer with local community people. So we will help out at like Christmas present distribution. We've helped out at food initiatives, those kinds of things. And so then we have our kids talk about that experience and convert that into resumes and how to use that experience and speak to it in an interview. So we're there with them, so we see and know what it is that they did, and then we kind of help them understand that, hey, that was a risk management thing that you just did, and they're like, what?
Right, yeah.
So we help them connect the language that people want to understand about who they are for job interviews.
Right. You see how you were going to get the $10 hammer, but you got the $8 one? Yeah, it's financial management right there. CFO. CFO. Okay, 9:23 is the time. So as we start to land this plane here, what's the next 2 to 5 years look like for the LITE program and everything we're doing?
We're going to continue to do the conference. We've had such a great response for that, and we're hoping that we can get it to grow. And so grow with not only having the number of kids show up that we did last year, but increase that, and our presentations, and our vendors. We want to see more folks be there to offer that landing spot. As an organization, we're going to continue to work to build pipelines to industries and to different kinds of job opportunities that they may not, recognize that are even there.
Right.
So we are continuing to work with Kendall Nesbitt, and we're working with him on what that looks like while protecting kids, because that industry is brutal.
Sure.
And we're also looking at building out a hospitality track for our kids with the opportunities to get jobs in hotels and restaurants and things.
A hospitality truck?
Track. I'm
Track?
sorry.
Oh,
Track.
okay. I thought my mind went places. I was like, wait a minute, y'all got hot towels and food at the truck?
That's right. That might not be a bad business. We might want to talk to the kids.
The
Entrepreneurship right there.
Truck?
That'd be cool, yeah.
And I think for myself, definitely being a younger professional and still growing in my field and, learning a lot from Candace and the rest of my team, what's really important for me as our program supervisor is to really be nimble and flexible with our programming and make sure that it keeps up with the times and the generation and the youth. Like right now, they're very tech savvy and, everything's online. Social media is really, really big. And, like we talked about, careers are expanding, like where you can really, make a lot in being in social media and things like that. And so I really want to make sure that, our programming always reflects the, youth and their generation and what's important to them, so that way we can, capture them and keep them as engaged as possible.
That's good stuff. That's really good stuff. Yep.
I have a few things for you.
Oh.
I wanna give them to you. Yep.
Oh,
so
boy.
we have the LITE beanie. So you can sport LITE gear.
Because it's getting cold outside,
It's
y'all.
getting cold.
Rock that
It's
bang
cold.
name.
Woo! That looks good. That looks really good on you.
Thank you.
And certainly we would love for you to come to the Dream Out Loud conference. And here's our Dream Out Loud baseball cap.
Thank you.
And we're not done. We're not done. We got some more stuff. So we have some keychains with little locks on it. These are Dream Out Loud.
Oh, nice. I like this.
We also have a LITE keychain that actually has a light on it. So,
Okay.
shine in the dark there. with
Very
light.
cool.
Yeah.
And a few different pens that you can share and use.
Oh, good
So-
pens, too. Check this out with the rubber grip. These are nice. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
Absolutely. We love to give out things. So when you come
do.
and join our
We
program, we always got snacks. I definitely
right.
make it a point to have the
Oh,
snacks.
Sway, like I need one.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate it very much. Thank you. I love when guests come on and give us gifts, man. Because you guys know I'll rock the gift. I will rock it. I will rock the shirt. Whatever you give me, I will wear it. This is very cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So last question: how can we help you? How can we in the community continue to help everything that you guys are doing?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think for us, it's just to continue to have the conversation and work together.
Right.
Because, when other organizations are running things, we want to be there to support them. We want to continue to make sure that kids have an array of opportunities to get services. So if we can't fulfill that, we want to talk to our partners and have our partner be able to fulfill whatever it is that kid might need if we can't deliver. So I think promoting and continually helping folks know that we're here, we're available, we've got some great stuff that we're offering, and we're just looking for kids to be successful.
Okay, well that's great stuff. We're also looking for the exact same thing, and as you guys know, Good Morning Aurora and all of our other extensions are proud to support positive initiatives like this and positive organizations like this, the LITE program, Leaders in Transformational Education, Opportunity, and Exposure. Very good stuff. All right. Well, the time, Becky Hoff's like, I need two. They need these pins, y'all. Pins and what? And the hat and this. You know what? Here's the thing. This is important right now because I was just at the gas station, and it's getting cold outside, and I've got I got like a Russian tank driver hat, which is a little bit big and unseemly. You can't really wear it in public, kind of thing. Kids get scared. So I was at the gas station. I was like, I should get a quick beanie. But you go to the gas station, you can tell that's not the real socks official. I'm like, man, I can't spend. And here I am with this today.
There it is.
Perfect.
And we on our website we have a swag shop. So we have sweatshirts and hats and things like that, and some bags and other kinds of accessories. And so there's a price on those, and really it's a donation. So if you donate X amount of dollars, this is what you can get for that.
That's wonderful.
So on our website that's available. In some of our videos, and we talked about our kids in our Music Matter program.
Yes.
We have their songs that they created uploaded on our website.
Okay.
So that's at LITE, LITELEADERS.org.
LITEleaders.org. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is 9:29 a.m. I hope that you guys enjoyed this interview as much as I enjoyed conducting it. I hope that you guys have a great day and a positive rest of the weekend. There's a lot of stuff that's happening out there in the city and beyond. Indeed, Kane County is full of a lot of life right now and full of a lot of good things. As we started off with, I met Candace as part of Project Safe Aurora under the auspices of the Kane County Health Department. It's just one of many things that are going on here in the city locally with some of our great organizations to build, uplift, and strengthen our community collectively. So if you see Project Safe Aurora out there, come join us, come support us, come see what we're up to, learn more about what we do, and learn more about the Kane County Health Department. And also don't forget to support LITE. You can go to the website liteleaders.org. Good Morning Aurora will return on Monday with more news, more weather. I know y'all missed the weather. The weather's coming back. And the very best of Aurora. Be blessed. Take care of yourself and each other.
Count Being a local business in Chicago, we've always worked with community banks, but over time, those smaller banks started getting acquired by larger national footprint banks. It became time to work with Wintrust to meet our needs without having to have that big bank feel.
Wintrust understood what they wanted to accomplish, and they've increased in size 5 times over.
As we continue to grow, we're going to keep needing to borrow, so I'm sure they're going to love that.
Serving their needs. It's really the foundation of what Wintrust commercial banking is all about.